A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Thursday edition of the show right here in Lagos. I'm Yemi Adebayo.
It's always a delight to have you join us to talk sports in London. I'm Austin Okonakpan.
All right, Austin, we have a lot of ground to cover today. Also lined up on the show today is a very interesting chat with somebody that needs little or no introduction. And as usual, I won't let the cat out of the bag just yet. I'll let you do just that. We will talk about the English Premier League, two matches on for tonight. One currently going on, one will start in a few minutes' time. We'll talk about what is happening here on the domestic scene. We'll talk about handball, we'll talk about powerlifting. We'll also talk about some of the other things happening on the domestic scene, talking about we'll go global with tennis, the interesting developments with the WTA over issues surrounding China's Peng Shuai. And also, we'll try to look at the Arab Cup, look at what is happening in the Arab Cup. So that's the outlook of the show tonight, and hopefully we'll make it worth the while of our viewers when we take them through all the things happening in the money-spinning, fast-paced world of sports.
Yeah. I mean, I'm struggling to get feedback from you, but I'm pumped up for the show tonight. You know, so much going down in the English Premier League. Everyone looking forward to that big one between Arsenal and Manchester United. That, in a lot of ways, will define Manchester United going forward. Remember, they've not won a league game since October, and now Ralph Rangnick has been given, work permit to get to work. So this is a good way, I think, to start because it's a good test of character. Also, we've got table tennis on the menu tonight. Not just talking about table tennis and its development. We want to take a look at a model who is, making table tennis shine. I don't know, Quadri, what a story he's been having in 2021, and as we speak, he's in Changi in Singapore for the ITTF Top 16 Championship. Remember, he's been ranked he's been ranked 13, so that puts him in a good position to compete at that competition. We also show some love to powerlifting. I hear Bosse Omolayo is also doing big things. So there's so much to talk about, and we're ready to do justice to all of this discussion.
Yeah, interesting. All right, let me quickly introduce our partner in the Lagos studio. Bolu Amodi joins us tonight. Bolu, greetings to you. Thanks for finding out time to be with us. Let me get ahead of myself and say, of all the things we've reeled out, which one gets your attention tonight?
Well, it has to be what used to be, some fans would not like it, what used to be the biggest game in Nigeria. I remember when I was younger, there's a place to watch ball in Ebutemeta then. When they watch ball, 15 naira, but when it's Arsenal, Man U, it's 200 naira. Nobody begs you. And the place is always filled to the brim. It shows how big those two clubs were in Nigeria, but it's not the same feeling now. So it's always good to see the attraction and still in the starting lineup. Well, maybe a few new changes again from the two managers. It's always interesting to think about that. And again, you have to give kudos to a certain man called Aruna Kodri. Someone asked me last week, is he the greatest table tennis player in Nigeria? Called some names, the legendary days, the Bose Kafos, the Sheikh Mutoran, and I said to him, like, he's not the greatest table tennis player in Nigeria. He's the greatest table tennis player in Africa. Because to be the greatest, you would have done what no one has ever done before. And if there's one man in Africa that has done what no other African has done before, his name is Aruna Kodri. So I think his name goes down as the greatest table tennis player in Africa.
All right, so that's it. Sets the tone for what we're going to do on the show tonight. Austin quite rightly hinted about Bosse Omolayo. So let's just switch to powerlifting and talk about how Nigerian powerlifters have again showed their dominance at the ongoing World Powerlifting Championship in Georgia. Nigeria's Bosse Omolayo today broke the world record in the women's 79 kilogram, lifting a staggering world record of 144 kg to claim Nigeria's second gold medal. Omolayo took the lead with her first lift, which was 135 kilogram. And after her opponent went into the lead, she responded with another impressive lift of 139 kilogram, which confirmed victory and she then confirmed victory with another lift, which was 144. That's on her third attempt. She has now surpassed a world record of 143 in dominant fashion. All right, so Austin, that's where we start the show tonight, talking about this amazing lady, record breaker, amazing feat she has achieved. I mean, you could see the joy, the celebration, the mood. Of course, it's good to be here to be talking about what she has achieved for herself and for Nigeria.
I'm not sure you know how this makes me feel whenever I talk about these guys, reminds us of the power of sports to transform lives. Bosse, Omolayo, what a story. 2018, I think, and 2019 also, she was at the World Championships in Dubai, broke her record, went to the Olympic medals. Back here now, she has broken and set a new world record. What else can we say about our power lifters? I mean, whenever they have an opportunity to compete, they do it with style. So let me once again say congratulations to Bosse Omolayo and the consistency she's shown with her career. Each time they go out there and then, defy the odds and lift, these weights, it goes beyond this sort of celebration we're seeing now. It's a reminder that we should do more in supporting these guys, and why whenever we have an opportunity to celebrate them, I want us to do just that. And then persons in authority also find ways to ensure that we create a that will make them.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. Very, very, very important to get that done. Do things to encourage, because most of these athletes they come into all of this with little or no support. Let me get your thoughts, Bolu. I mean, we could list out all of the problems these ladies have had to face, even without them telling you, because it's the usual pattern. Now, victory on the table, we celebrate.
Well, I remember when they go back from the Paralympics, and I think herself or Lucy talked about, yes, it's good we want to rest, but the rest is just for a while because we still have other events to look out for. And going from the Olympic gold medal, it doesn't come bigger than that. Some athletes will probably relate, yes, I've done the peak, but she's not stopping, still went further to win gold medal at the World Championships with a world record. You could see the excitement, the celebration from even the coach because he knows what it takes. He knows the sacrifices, and to a level, there'll probably be more that he doesn't even know, but he knows what they've been through. He knows the sacrifices, the training they've gone through to get to this stage, and not just winning the. It's one thing when you win gold medal at any event. It's one thing breaking the mark to win the medal. I think that's the excitement the coach brought to the table, and I'm happy for her. I'm happy for the team entire because what we always say is don't abandon this guy. I think it's recently some of them complained about not being paid for the promises they had a while back. And here they are still pushing hard, still giving their best for what they know how to do best. The only sad story among all this is she's 32. These people are getting old. Like we say all the time, what happens next when all this generation of Paralympians retire? Because I don't think there's any 25-year-old amongst them. I don't think there's any 23-year-old. What happens? That's why you can still see the likes of Agumbi Ade in the almost 40 that are still representing Nigeria. I think we need to do more in celebrating these guys and also those that should come after them because if this generation leaves, I hope Paralympics will not die in Nigeria.
All right, I hope so too. All right, let's go to Austin and get into that interesting conversation that we're about to have, talking about table tennis in Nigeria.
Table tennis in Nigeria, I mean, what a story in the last 5 years. It's been around from the grassroots players, tennis to all sports. So tonight, let's talk about one man who, whenever we say he pops up at Quadri, ranked 13th in the world. He is the first African to be ranked in that position. He is also first African to make to the quarterfinal World Championship. Let's go to Changi in Singapore. Aaron Quadri joins us now live on the program. Aaron Quadri, good evening. Welcome to Sports Tonight.
Good morning, viewers at home. I'm very happy and excited to be joining you. Thanks so much for the opportunity.
Okay. All right. It's good to have you.
Hear me very well?
Yeah. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay.
This is Yemi, also in with Austin. Greetings to you, champ. I just want to say congratulations once again for us here. Reading about your exploits always makes us happy. So I guess congratulations still in order.
Thank you so much.
All right. There's a lot to talk about, but first, I just want to ask you, as I've always done, anytime I have the opportunity to talk to you, what's the motivation? What gives you that inner strength to keep pushing yourself? You've achieved quite a few number of things that no African is yet to achieve, and it doesn't look like you're going to stop. So I'm interested in knowing the motivation, what has been keeping you going all this while.
Whenever I have to represent Nigeria, I always have something on my mind. Something like we are more than 200 million, and I'm just privileged and honored to be selected among the five that is representing the country. So I always remember that, and with that, it is very important for me to prove myself why I deserve to be in the team. So I'm always very happy to represent Nigeria. And whenever I have to represent Nigeria, it is very important to prove that I actually deserve to be in the team.
Okay, um, that's good to hear. And still talking about this because a lot of us are still very excited. Still, I mean, very happy for you with all that has happened in your career and how you're making those giant strides. Does it add pressure? Does it put a lot of pressure? Does it put a lot of burden on you now? You've always been among the elite, but you're climbing up gradually. Does that add pressure, or is still just you just go on and play your tennis and hope for the best?
I think there is pressure for every sportsman, but it is very important to always believe in yourself. I have pressure all the time, but of course, I work so hard and I believe so much in God. So I always know I can lose, I can win, but it is very, very important to give my best. So through giving my best and not giving up, good result is always coming.
Okay, Quadri, let's talk about the year 2021. We got into it with a lot of uncertainty because of COVID-19. But what sort of year has it been for you so far?
For everyone, it has not been very easy, but we thank God that we are still alive. We keep pushing and pushing. For me, 2021 has been so faithful in terms of good results. I was in semi-final in WTT Tunisia. And African Championships, I was in final also. I did very well for Nigeria in team event. And finally, this same year, I got to world rank 15. In the same year as well, I got to quarterfinal in World Championships. That has never happened to any African player before. And finally, I'm in 13 in the world, the greatest world ranking in my career. And similarly, I'm very happy that I have been invited to play in World Top 16 here in Singapore. So it has been a positive year for me, and I'm very happy.
Indeed, it has been a positive year. You made it to the World Championships, and you did it with the round of 16 for the first time an African is getting that, and then you got the quarterfinals. But let's talk about this quarterfinals against Truce. Morgan, you talked about doing everything, but it didn't just work for you. I was rooting for you. We Nigerians were rooting for you to get semis. How disappointed are you that you couldn't, make it to the semifinals?
Uh, you know, uh, I actually gave my heart and soul, but it was really not meant to be. I gave almost everything, but in the end, the guy was much more better and stronger. It was just a step to medal stage, and I was so disappointed. But of course, I remember backward as well. When I was in round of 32 and 16, I was down 3-2 in each game, and I came back and I won. So I remember the last two victories before quarterfinal, and while remembering that, I was not totally disappointed. But of course, it would have even be better if I finished in semi-final and get a medal. But of course, I'm very happy.
A good record, but this game against Truce, Morgan, did you underrate him, Quadri?
No, I didn't underrate him. I didn't underrate him. He already beat several players in top 20 to be in quarterfinal. And if you could remember very well, in the first and second set, I had the opportunity, but I did not take my opportunities. And the first two sets were really important. That actually made the biggest difference in the match. But of course, there is always another opportunity to do better.
So, by virtue of the new ranking, you're 13th in the world. That puts you in a good place to compete in Singapore. That's why you're there for the top 16. What are expectations?
My expectations are always the same. I want to do very well. I want to be a very good ambassador for my country, club, fans, family. For me, it is very important to do a doping-free tournament, and that is what I've always been doing. I believe the result can be positive or negative, but I will give my best and see how it will go. This is top 16 in the world. It means the best 16 players in the world by ranking. So it means nothing is for sure. It's like 50-50 chances for all the participants. But I'm very happy that I'll be playing in this tournament for the second time. I played last year also. So I will give my best like always.
Okay, that's good to hear. I don't know. I mean, just sitting back here and listening to you, very encouraging. Very sure a lot of the young lads listening to you as well, knowing fully well that you came all the way from back here, and you're now up there. I'm very sure they are inspired listening to you. I want to ask you. Now, for you, there's no place to hide. Everybody knows you. There were times where you were beating some of these guys, and they were like wondering, who is this? Who is this? But now everybody knows you. I mean, there's no place to hide. There's really nobody you can surprise because you are up there. So, at this level, what are some of the things you think you might need in terms of support, maybe from Nigeria, or things probably you want to add to your crew as a support system to help you probably get into the top 10 or go further than that?
So funding is very important for all sportsmen and women. So I think it is very important to get funding. For example, we were in World Championships without physiotherapists. I was already injured around round of 16 or 32. I was just managing and managing. And if we were with a physiotherapist, probably I would have recovered even before round of 16 and quarterfinal. So I actually managed until quarterfinal. And that shows the passion that we are just fighting and fighting to represent the country very well. But if we can get more support, it means we will definitely even do better. So it is also very important to always go to tournament with coaches, medical staffs, and with this, you can actually recover on time and get ready for the next matches. But of course, everything has to do with funding. Unfortunately, presently, I have no sponsor from Nigeria in this moment, and it is very important to have some sponsors as well coming from my home country. The two sponsors I have are abroad. I have one in Germany and one in Ukraine. So if I can even get more support from my home country, it will go a long way and even do much more better than I've been doing in the past years.
Okay, let me throw this in quickly before I hand it over back to Austin. Quick one. I want a quick response for this. When you compare yourself with probably other African players or even your contemporaries, in terms of the support system they have, if you want to measure the gap, a Nigerian is competing against a German in terms of the support system, all of those things that you mentioned. How big is the gap between us and them? Are we closing the gap or
There
is it
is
still very wide?
there is the gap is really wide. For example, while playing against Egypt, you are playing against the players, medical staffs, and the coaches. You are playing, the coaches are on the bench. They have their medical staff also watching in order to help if there is
Okay.
any other negative occurrences like injuries. Nigeria, we don't have the same. We are only
All
going
right.
with coaches, no medical staffs, and this is really important.
All right.
Almost all the countries before the match, they start getting some kind of massage in order to get their body relaxed
Okay.
and recovered for the next tournament. In that, we don't have that in Nigeria, so it is very important to have the same kind of support.
All right. Okay. I'm not going to want to keep you. We need to go on a break right about now. When we return from that break, there's still a lot of things we want to talk about with you. So we need to go on that break, and we'll come back for more on Sports Tonight.
Welcome back. It's Sports Tonight on your award-winning sports-loving channels television. We're speaking to Africa's #1 table tennis player, Quadri Aruna. He's in Changi, Singapore, venue for the ITTF Top 16 Championship. And he's been talking to us about everything table tennis. Quadri, let's bring the conversation back to Nigeria. In October, you were busy with young talent, and I know you also have plans for an academy. How important is it for us to give attention to grassroots table tennis development?
If we really want to have better Atonda Musa, better Shebu Kurela, better Aruna Kodri, it is very important to start now to do youth developmental programs, something like regular training camps. And that is one of the reasons I launched an academy in Lagos around October, so that we can give back to a lot of youth. You know, we have a lot of talents, but they are not being supported by the government regularly. So government cannot do it alone. So it is very important for we players as well to give back to them so that we can actually grow more young players.
Aruna, you've given us a lot of firsts. First African to be ranked 13th, first African to reach the quarterfinals of the World Championships, first African to reach the quarterfinals of the Olympics, first African to also reach the quarterfinal at the World Cup. When you look at all these achievements, what else is there for you to do to leave a legacy in table tennis?
Just like I said earlier, I want to produce better version of me, and I've been able to launch an academy. You know, it will be on regular stuffs. I will be doing training camps for kids so that they can actually improve as well. I want to give opportunities to as many as possible, different players from different parts of the country. And I was able to meet with Oyo State governor, and Lagos State governor as well. So I want to do training camps, tournaments. You know, I want to show these kids how I am able to be in this position today. I want to share my experience with them. I want to give back the knowledge back to almost all the kids in Nigeria so that we can actually produce a better version of myself. And that is my biggest objective so far. So both governors, they accepted my proposal, and I'm looking forward to giving back to the society. You know, this is the only thing I can do to improve the game, nothing more. You know, this is the only knowledge I have. So we do training camps, we do tournament, and in the end of the clinic, we can actually introduce some of the best players to Europe.
Now you're ranked 13th and you're in Singapore for the top 16 championship. Are you under any form of pressure to deliver?
You know, there is pressure for almost all the participants. It's a normal thing, but I always know that I can actually win and I can lose. So it is very important for me to give my best, give my heart and soul, and see how it will go. You know, nothing will be very easy, but of course, for me to be here, it means I'm one of the major contenders for the title, and I have almost equal chances, just like every other participant. So I'm looking forward to the tournament. I'm not under any kind of pressure. Of course, it's going to be either win or lose, but it is very important to give my best. So I'm just looking forward to give my best, be myself, and just to do my thing and see how it will go.
Just give your best, and we hope that your best will be just good enough for you. Aruna Quadri, thank you so much for your time on the show. Best wishes in Singapore, Nigeria. We love you, and we're rooting for you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and see you next time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So that's it, Quadri Aruna, our Africa's #1 table tennis player, proudly Nigerian. He keeps breaking records. Let's go back to Lagos. Bolu, whenever you hear or see Aruna Quadri, what sort of pride do you have?
Well, first off, that he's a Nigerian. I remember there was a time there was an issue between the African Table Tennis Federation and the World Table Tennis Federation when Omar Asa was ranked ahead of him in Africa. Then the world ranking says, no, I don't know. I'm like, you can hate him all you want. He's still the best, he's the greatest. And hearing year out, I don't know, proves that he's the best. Yes, you could hear him being modest, being humble, but we know you are the best. So I understand him not trying to maybe gloat or anything, but every year, every tournament, we keep giving him expectations we never saw before. And to a level every year, he keeps surprising us. It's got to from 15 to 13, it's never been achieved before. Like you rightly said, the World Table Tennis tournament, he got to the quarterfinal. I really wish he had gone farther than that. Every time you hear about Aaron Okoduna, it's always, oh, what is he doing now? He has not achieved, you may say he has not achieved more at the world level. But talking about Africa, anytime you mention Aaron Okoduna, the first thing that comes to mind is, what African record is he breaking again? Has he done another thing that no African has done before? You said it earlier. Every time it's about force African to this, force African to that. I really wish he can go much more than that, win medals at the Olympics, win medals at the World Table Tennis Championship. But even if he does not, to a level he has done more than enough. And I like what he ended with, that he wants to give back to his communities. That's one thing that is rare. That's what you don't see all the time. Everybody, I made my money, I can decide to do whatever I want. But coming back home to give back is one of the best things you can do. And I'm really proud, at least, to be a sports person and to know that name, Aaron Okodre.
Okay, so that's all good to hear. I mean, I'm sitting back and listening to Aaron. I mean, it takes a lot of inner strength not to gush over him because of all the things he's achieved and how modest it really he is. So let's move on from that because we could spend the whole day talking about him. Wish him all the best in the top 16 championship that is going to be featuring in. Let's give you a slice of handball on the show. Let's talk about what has happened. The National Handball Technical Advisor talking about Rafiu Salami has invited 30 players to camp ahead of the 2022 African Men's Handball Championship in Morocco. That's the latest information. Most of the players invited to the Abuja camp were selected from the Handball Premier League, with a few foreign-based players led by Obina Ani and Poland sensation Farouk Yusuf. Nigeria has participated in 11 editions of the championship, recording our best outing in 1998 by finishing fourth. The championship, which will run from January 13 to 23rd, will serve as African qualified for the 2023 World Men's Handball Championship. And the names you have on your screen are the players, the spread, 30 players invited to camp. The clubs they represent a large number, a good number of those players play in Nigeria. Just a few apply their trade abroad. So our best wishes to these guys. Hopefully they will be able to do us proud and go into camping. And when the championship starts in January, hopefully they will be able to do us proud. All right, so that's it. Let's leave handball and talk about table tennis again. But now we'll talk about table tennis right here in Nigeria. Of course, the longest running tournament in Nigeria is the Ashojoba Table Tennis Championship. And of course, it's no longer news that is on. Let me quickly get Bolu's thoughts. I don't know if you've been able to see any of the matches. Of course, we are not going to be playing a lot of matches this year because of COVID restrictions, but I don't know if you've seen any of those matches today.
Well, I've just followed the news about it. I've not seen any of them yet, but like the preparations, everything looks to be working. And like I remember, was it last week when one of the organizers said they are ready? They cut down the number of events they'll do due to COVID restriction. The fans, all the fan base before now, but it still feels good for the players that will be competing because to be a winner at the Ashojoba Cup is always something of pride. Like you rightly said, it's the oldest competition in Nigeria. The English can pride themselves of the FA Cup. We can pride ourselves of the Ashojoba tournament because for you hardly see events that run to 10 editions in Nigeria, not to talk of 20, then 53. So I think it's a good one. Can't wait to start seeing all the clips. Yeah. We probably will not watch all the games live, but the ones you can see highlights from, like what we are watching on the screen now, the ones you can read about. It's always good to follow and monitor the event. And let's say congratulations in advance to the players.
Whoever turns out to be the winner. All right, let's listen to some of the guys competing at the event and some of the officials at the Ashojoba Table Tennis Championship.
I feel like playing, like there's no cadet, there's no junior, but there's senior. But I want to participate. Maybe I can beat the senior or I can beat the junior, so that I will try my best. At Ilorin, we became second in mixed doubles. In Ilorin, my singles, I become third. That's all.
This year, that's why I seen it. I want to put myself. I want to play cadet again. I want to try my best. This competition. Upper last year, I should do for cadet. I carry second. Doubles, carry first. This year, that's why I seen it. I want to try my best for this one. I want to play very well.
Now, as it is now, those junior players have already improved. So my expectation is to perform very well, and I believe possibly I may be fortunate to win it because it's not sure. We have many good players in the likes of David, Santos, and Emmanuel, which are small junior players. So I believe it's going to be a tough one.
In previous editions, as far back as the 2019 edition, we had about 24 events. This year, we have only 9. In previous years, we used to have the cadet category, we had the junior category, we also had the sports writers singles, the veteran singles, and the coaches singles. This year, none of that was happening. But that understandably, because the family has explained where this cannot take place this year. We are hoping that in subsequent years, with the COVID problems totally off ground, then we'll be able to go back to the old days.
All right, so cross-section of some of the players talking, and most especially tournament director John Peters explaining some of the reasons why we don't have as many as the categories that we used to have. Bolu, quick one on that. You can see the excited players, especially the junior ones.
Yeah. And interesting that they know the cadet and the junior will not hold, but they still want to compete with the men. Thinking, okay, well, maybe we could defeat them. It shows the ambition these young guys have. Many young persons will be like, those Egmont in quotes will beat us, but they are not scared. I could see even the doubles, the 2 young guys competing against grown-ups. It doesn't get better than this. Now, even if they end up losing to those men, they have an experience that some of their colleagues don't have. Come the next edition now, hopefully the cadet, everything will be back. They are stronger, their mind is much more bolder and stronger. Who knows? They may come for the next edition and be the undisputed champion. Why? Because while they were younger, they played with men. Now, when it's now time to compete with their colleagues, with their peers, they're probably stronger mentally. So I think it's a good one. Unfortunately, like we said earlier, they can't have all those other events. But again, let's enjoy the 9. Let's watch. If there's one sport you will also always enjoy watching, it's table tennis, because if you don't look very well, the ball will fly probably 10 times before you think where it's going. So good competition, good sports to always watch. And again, congratulations to those that win in advance. And for the coaches, the cadets, the juniors, well, support those that are there now and hope the next edition, COVID will not restrict anything. I will get back to the 20+ events in the next edition.
Awesome. You know, we love the Sojoba Table Tennis Championship. We grew up talking about it, and to see it still going on, the competition that is here to we all grew up talking about Atonda Musa, legend of table tennis. Nigeria. He's also talking about the Sojoba Table Tennis Championship. Let's listen to him.
It's coming up, the way things are going now, it's coming up because I was so impressed when I see those young kids playing very, very well. Just the way I was playing like 25 years ago. So the way they're coming up, if they can continue like this, things will get better. The only advice I can give to the Nigerian Table Tennis Association is to employ more coaches at the national stadium to continue to teach those younger ones. But during my time, we have a lot of coaches. Now they have less coaches. So if they can have more coaches, we have a lot of coaches, they're out of work. If they can be employed, I think that would be much better, and the game will come up in a big way.
Wow. Wow, that's the great Atonda Musa right there. And Bolu, I love the fact that he took it away from players and he's emphasizing on quality coaching, which I believe is very important if we want to keep developing table tennis in Nigeria.
Well, any grassroots sports, coaching is very key. Not all coaches can even do it with younger athletes. if you are a coach meant for a 45, 35-year-old, if you are taken to be the coach of a 12-year-old, you may not see the best in there. So quality coaching is very key, and it starts from while you are growing up. And you see the ever youngy Atonda, similar to I think I like the growth, the fact that he's also getting involved. Again, you cannot dispute what coaching would do for a young athlete, because, like, we listen to what Aruna Kodri spoke about, coaching. So coaching is not just about the guys that tell you do left or right. Coaching goes beyond that. Sometimes personal relationships, they get into your life, how you grow steadily, especially at a very young age, is very, very important. Maybe that's the reason why we've still not found the next Aruna Kodri. Maybe that's why we've still not found the next Segun Torreira, because we have coaches for men. Until we need coaches for grassroots development. One of the things we are lacking in Nigeria, and if you don't find ways to fix that, we may end up having the next table tennis stars that grew up on their own. Maybe someone came from the UK, someone came from China. The Asians are probably have the best table tennis players. Maybe people that grew up there on their own, because grooming these guys from the young age is one of the best. The things they learn from the young age will probably stick with them. Until we fix that, it may be very difficult for us to grow from the level we are to where we are supposed to be.
All right, so that's the way it is, and hopefully the administrators will follow suit and take a cue from what the experienced lads are saying, so that we can ensure the production line is intact. Let's go to the English Premier League and give you a situation report of what is currently going on. Bolu said in times past is always eagerly anticipated. These days it's not, but then we still have to talk about Manchester United and Arsenal. Arsenal are leading now after a goal scored in the 22nd minute by Emile Smith-Rowe, the England youngster, and of course Tottenham leading against Brentford. It was an own goal, but I think it was credited to Ben Davies, but looks like it was an own goal. 52 minutes of football played in that one, and the Arsenal-Manchester United game, Manchester United reverted back to their style they were playing before the Chelsea game. They didn't play the way they played Chelsea, so it probably was more open, free-flowing football. Let me get your thoughts on what you have on screen. It could change any moment, though.
Football can be very weird. We talked about Arsenal's record. When United played Chelsea, we talked about how United have a very healthy record against Chelsea in the Premier League, not defeated, lost to Chelsea since 2017. Now, Arsenal, they've not lost to United in the Premier League since 2018. And even in the last few games, United have not scored against them, I think, in 2 or 3 matches. That's not something, yeah, you can say it changes, yeah, it can change in football, but sometimes those numbers keep growing with, and it feels like anything can happen. But when the look of things, a lovely goal, left corner from outside the box from Emile Smith-Rowe in the 14th minute. That's what's kept them. Even from the get-go, Arsenal have had better shots, more shots. They've had blocks. I think so far, United even have just 2 shots on target, 1 off target. While Arsenal have 3 shots on target, 2 blocked, and 1 got into the box. It means Arsenal have been more accurate. Yes, they're playing at Old Trafford. Like I tell people, Carrick has nothing to lose. It's just okay. Now, the change today is Dalot and the right back for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. The first game it was Bruno who sat down. The second game it was Ronaldo. I guess he's just probably just moving around, knowing this is even his last game. So let me just set up who will sell. But I think United may still score. Ronaldo, before leaving United, have a very healthy record against Arsenal. I think 8 in 8 or 9 in 9 there. But now he wants to continue his run. And for Tottenham, the coach had to confess, Conte, this is probably the toughest job he has taken. Now, the goal, I think, was credited as an own goal, but they should do enough to win. But what we've seen Brentford do, especially against top opposition, they know how to push at you. They know how to get goals. Tony and Mboma, those 2 guys have been scoring goals well, having good partnership between them. So I think Spurs should still concede a goal. If they will not win, that's left to them. They'll score another goal. But the game everyone is looking at is the match between United and Arsenal at Old Trafford. Arsenal presently leading. Let's see if United can get back into the game.
Okay, we'll see if United can get back into the game. Well, guys, we're pressed for time, but I want us to do this quickly because we might not be able to do it. We'll get back to football, but let's quickly talk about the development in world tennis. The WTA, of course, have suspended China, all the games currently, all the tournaments in China, and China has responded by saying it's political and a lot of things have happened. And of course, we have the world #1, Novak Djokovic, coming out in support of what the WTA, the Women's Tennis Association, has done. So Austin, let's just talk about this one quickly. We're pressed for time, but it seems the tennis world is united in trying to pressurize China to tell us more about Peng Shuai and maybe just let her come out in the open without, everything being controlled from behind.
This Peng situation is so heartbreaking, Yemi. She commented about sexual assault and not being comfortable with what someone did, and then she disappeared from the public. But shout out to WTA chief Steve Simon and his team for suspending all tournaments in China, because according to him, he said it cannot assure the safety of players if they go to China, and top tennis stars have been supporting him and saying, well done, this is the way to go. Though Peng spoke to Thomas Bach in November and said she's fine, but where is she? Why is she not in the public? Why is she not talking? So this is some of the issues we're talking about, and sports can actually take a stance against all of these happening. And that's why I want to once again say kudos to the WTA and their team for saying, look, we're not going to China. We're not comfortable with this situation. And this Peng situation, I just hope that it changes for the better and she comes out to the public and we can all see that she's fine, and then we move on with life.
Right, that's interesting. Let's listen to Novak Djokovic have a say on this matter. We'll come back to spend a few minutes we have left on football.
I support fully WTA's stance because we don't have enough information about Shuai Peng, and her well-being and her health is of the utmost importance for the tennis community. Regardless of the fact that it's her, it can be anybody, both male and female player, that something like this could happen. And I don't see anything wrong in a WTA and everyone, actually, ATP as well, asking for clarity on what is going on. We don't have enough information, and I think it's a very bold, very courageous stance from WTA. It's really sad that we don't have enough clarity on that. I mean, it's life of a tennis player that is in question here, so we, as a tennis community, needs to stand together, and so I support it.
All right, I've already said life of a tennis player in question here, so people should not fold their hands. And a lot of people have accused the IOC president of trying to be unnecessarily diplomatic, not taking a stance. Bully, we're about to go, but I know you want to say something.
Yeah, I think I like what the WTA have done. Listening to people, it's always very important because everyone started complaining, where's Peng Shuai? Yes, she made a post of the sexual allegation and she went off the radar. It shows they care about her because it's making...
And there's a lot of censorship in the country about the matter.
So I think I like that. It makes no sense when someone from this country accused some persons and disappeared, and she's meant to participate, and you're still competing in China. So I like that they made a stand. No, we cannot come here when one of our own is in trouble in this same place. So I like their stance, and I love the fact that even someone like Djokovic, who is a man, some persons can decide, well, it's not affecting, let me keep quiet. But some of them are speaking out. Hopefully all this is sorted out because Djokovic says something. The life is also very important. She's a human. She's an athlete as well. So I hope everything is settled well, not politicized, and at the end, we just maybe sweep it under the rug. No. If our allegations are true, the perpetrator should face the law. That way, everyone will believe that, oh, the law is right. The sport I'm competing for, the federation are also supporting me and doing the right thing. So I wish her all the best. I hope she's safe wherever she is. And very soon we'll get to enjoy tennis back in China.
All right. All our best wishes to Peng Shuai. Bulomani, I want to thank you for your time on the show today. Always fun doing this with you.
Yeah, definitely. Good to be here.
All right. That's the show today. We do hope that you've enjoyed everything we've been able to do. Time not always our friend, but we'll do our best to make it worth your while. We'll be back here again tomorrow. For today, it's a wrap. And bye-bye from here in Lagos. I'm Mima Adebayo. See you again tomorrow.
I mean, the Peng Shuai story really got me emotional, quite disappointing. I just pray that she's safe, and then very soon we'll see her in the public space. In London, I'm Austin Okonakpan. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.